Welcome to Spirit School. I'm Danielle, a medium and spiritual mentor and storyteller with over a decade experience, here to guide you through the profound intersections of spirituality, healing, and self-discovery. Spirit School is more than a podcast. It's a sanctuary, a place where you can connect with the wisdom of the unseen world, explore the depths of your own soul, and uncover the boundless life force energy within. Whether you're stepping into your spiritual gifts, navigating a healing journey, or seeking tools for a life filled with intention and meaning, you belong here. In each episode is a beacon of light, blending heartfelt stories, practical teachings, and reflections from my own path. Together, we'll celebrate the magic in the mundane and discover the extraordinary in everyday moments. Through Spirit School, we co-create a world where hope thrives, inspiration uplifts, and the power of spirit is undeniable. Welcome to Spirit School. Let's continue this journey of light and transformation together. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spirit School. I am so happy to welcome back Asha Frost. How are you doing today, Asha?
I'm so wonderful and even more wonderful being here with you.
Yes, I am so excited to be here with you. Since the last podcast episode that we did together, we've been able to be in touch quite a bit. We have some collaborations coming up together that we're excited about, and it's been a joy to get to know you better. And, I've been thinking about this time that we're going to have here together. And I've been trying to get into the brain of our audiences and the people who are witnessing us and watching us and all the very different things that we do. And so I kind of have some questions for us that are more centered around what I think people would like to hear from us, what I think people would like to know from us right now, given it's mid-year 2025. It's a bit spicy of a year, but I want to check in with you first. How are you doing, Asha? How are you feeling here today?
Well, I'm really excited about collaborating with you. 2025, I promised myself would be the year of collaborations because I really feel like weaving our medicines together is so potent. And I feel like, yeah, when that opportunity comes, it feels like such a centered yes. And it felt like a rooted yes to me when we were talking about this. So I'm excited about creation. I think like a lot of people, it's been a lot this year. I think collectively, energetically, there's been a lot to manage, especially if you're sensitive or a healer or an intuitive or a medium or any of the things that our audiences intersect with their gifts and their medicines. I think we've all been feeling it. So I'm with you.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And when I think about how I serve the world myself, it always started with mediumship, providing readings, helping people move through grief or be part of the holistic healing journey. And there was a lot of pressure on my readings, and I took the joy out of them a lot because there was so much pressure to it. And as I started teaching a little bit more and the readings kind of took a bit of a back seat, life became a little bit different for me, a little bit less balanced. And now I'm back in a season where readings are once again at the forefront, and they actually are now more medicine for me. They are a part of my restoration. They are a part of how I'm helping the world during this time. And I've been seeing the impacts that they're having on our people in our communities. And so I've been kind of feeling this year a little bit more excited to delve back into my origins of what I started in this work. And for me, it's been kind of beautiful to see the progress, because what used to be really high pressure and truthfully a little bit depleting for me about 4 or 5 years ago is now the thing that's easy for me. It's enjoyable, and it's what I'm seeing make the biggest impact right now in the world. So I wonder if you have been experiencing anything similar, because I think 2025 is asking a lot of change out of us collectively and individually. And I'm wondering if you've seen that as well.
I love that you're reflecting on 5 years ago because, I was in a journey where I had a private practice and I was really burnt out. I was seeing people individually. I was running from healing circle to workshop, doing all of those things. And then I really took a step back and I thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. But my spirit missed it so much, which is why this year I felt like this is the thing that we all need. So I'm so excited to be in person with groups of people doing similar work that I did maybe 8, 9 years ago that I really start to miss. And I started to feel like, oh my goodness, this is where like the true transformation happens. And I can see it, right? I get to reflect back and see how I change as well with all of the people that are in circle or in workshop or in retreat. And that's so fulfilling and rewarding. So I hear you on that. And I think, yeah, we're being asked to really, really come down to like really what matters, what's making the biggest impact for our soul, and how are we being called to show up. So that's what I feel.
Yeah, that's really powerful. And I've been reflecting on that as well as, I've been in a building phase for the past 5 years and I'm guided by ant medicine. So I love to build and I love community and I love workhorse energy. And that's been really fun. And truthfully, for me and my spirit in the past, maybe 6 to 18 months has been around desiring maybe a little bit of a slowdown, like a little bit of rest, a little bit of that reflection, like I say, a little bit of pausing and enjoying what I have a lot more. And I've seen that desire for other people too, but I also feel the pull of society with the things that I have built. I can hear the optics, I can hear the banter of society, but like keep going, like keep like I don't know, pushing, persevering. And I personally have been feeling a lot more restful going back into service, like we say,
Mhm.
and looking back to the origins. And every time I feel like I get a little bit lost on my path or a little bit unclear, I always go back to the origin. What was the original intent? What was the original experience that started all this, as a way to kind of like root back in? So I wonder if that's also been coming up for you, thinking about your private practice from all those years ago.
I think I was just saying this morning to a friend actually about how maybe, 6 to 8 years ago, I wanted to be that online successful business. Like that's really what was coming out. It was dropping down and it looked, those people inspired me. I thought, oh, I can move all of my business online and, make this, all of these like beautiful ways to get in. And it looked like it was ease filled and it was flowing. And when I got in it, I realized it wasn't and didn't burn me out any less.
Yeah.
So it's been such a learning curve in that way. And perhaps there's different systems that I don't have in place. But I also realize as an Indigenous woman who is trying so hard to re-Indigenize the ways of being and living in this world, that the system really promotes being a machine, really
Yeah.
promotes that hustle, really promotes a way that is not true to our nature as cyclical beings. So the past 6 or 7 years, I've been unwinding from that because I think there was that colonized part of me that wanted to be that and do that. And then I burnt out so hard, it affected my physical health. And now my body is saying a strong no. What my ancestors always knew, what my body always knew, what my spirit always knew, that wasn't going to be in alignment with me. So the slowdown for me is definitely unwinding from what I thought I wanted
Yeah.
back to what really works for my Indigenous soul.
I am so nourished even just by that share, because I see you, you see me. I think a lot of people are absolutely feeling like that. And I think that's kind of like the precipice that we find ourselves on, the old ways and like the new ways, and creating something kind of like new, like a new standard of living. And I think more and more people, and that was one of the questions that I wrote down. It was the last question, but I'll start here. Like, what does it mean to simplify not just your lives, but our spiritual paths? Right? What have we stripped away? Because it's been a bit of a flurry the past couple of years, and there's been like a buildup of energy, especially in the online space. I'll say my experience is a bit opposite. It's like I was doing super easy flowy in the online, and it's like the in-person stuff that was a bit more like of a struggle for me. So I love that's a bit opposite. But I think it's not just us. I think everyone I'm talking to, especially in the year 2025, is looking for that simplicity, which I think is how we used to be, like rolling with the seasons, tuning into our nature and like what we feel inspired to do. And how do you feel about that? What do you think about the simplicity, and what have you stripped away?
Yeah, I've stripped away a lot. I think, I mean, the transition of life that I'm in right now, too, my body will not let me override that anymore. So I've stripped away this desire for achievement, the desire to hustle, all of those things that feel like I just don't have it in me right now to do those things. But I think it's a good thing. Like it feels like medicine to me. It
Yeah.
feels like an elder part of me saying, if you want to be here to live to your elder self, you've got to listen to what your mini elder is saying, which is do things that light you up, do things that feel reciprocal, do things that aren't burning you out. Like I think all of those things for me are simplifying. And also maybe like cutting cords or unwinding what I thought I wanted. And maybe there's a bit of grief there too to say, this is what I thought I wanted, what I saw, what inspired me, but it no longer does. And there is a little period of, oh, geez, well, how could I have been so mistaken to think that I wanted that? But just knowing that we grow and we learn as we go, we can only do it as we go through it. So I have to have a lot of grace for myself too.
Yeah. And then as you kind of like transition out of something, just say like something that you thought you wanted, you desired, you created it, and it's just not what you thought, and been there, done that, on to the next thing. Like, what do you do to kind of like transition or integrate? Like, do you bring in ceremony? Do you bring in a ritual around that?
I think right now what really helps is I'm doing things I love. I'm doing lots of speaking engagements, and that's really what fills me up. So I try to expand the capacity for that. More of this creator, more of this. And I try to expand that in my own being. And I'm really mindful with my body. So I will have sage or a candle lit when an email comes in, and I have to ask spirit, is this going to be okay for my body 6 months down the road? Being very intentional and ceremonial in those moments. But you can even light a candle and just have that light with you or your ancestors with you to inform you on the best decisions and way forward. So I'm slowing down, even my decision making. I used to be such a yes person, and that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy you said yes to me. It feels very privileged. Feels very privileged when I reached out to Asha last year. How do you feel about coming out to Spirit School and collaborating with me? And it feels really good to be able to do that. I'm really excited. And for me, one of the things that I'm trying to simplify in my life is responsibility that I seem to carry, like not just in my sessions, but responsibility everyone's going to have a good time, responsibility everyone's going to like get it, responsibility that it's a worthy investment. Like there's a lot of like weight I can tend to carry, and I'm trying to like simplify everything that I bring into the world so that it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel weight. And I do realize for me, it's like the emotion of responsibility that I've been carrying. And that's like one of my big, big, big epiphanies. And even that awareness and being able to name it, everything feels like a little bit lighter for me.
Oh, I love that so much. I can relate to that. And I think in a way we have some ancestral, healing to do around that. I think that we even have that responsibility of being the ones our ancestors dreamed here and having our work impact the 7 generations. That feels big sometimes. So even for responsibility, I have to drop that off
Yeah.
and sort of minimize that sometimes and think, yeah, I'm doing the work, and also I need to be healthy and well to do it. So I hear you on that because I can feel that over responsibility too. And I have a Capricorn moon, so that really
Yeah.
like drives it too.
I'm like a Capricorn South Node, and I am surrounded by Capricorns. I love Capricorn energy. Being a workhorse, I do. But I'm trying to have some more fun. I'm in a season now where like I'm personally having to look at the balance of it all, because the building's so fun and it fed every aspect of my well-being, like my mental, it stimulated my spiritual, like everything improved as I was like on this build. And I had to realize there comes a point where it's like, okay, now we have to kind of bring back in the balance. And it's surprising for me that I get really stuck on something as simple as, what do you do for fun? And somebody asked me that this morning right before this call, and then they said, but not related to work. Everything I had loaded was like related to work. What do you find fun, Asha? What do you do for fun that's not related to like work or your medicine you bring into the world?
Oh, so much. I love dance parties. I love singing parties. I'd say dancing and singing are fun for me. And being with people that I love, but I'd say like dancing and singing are at the top of my list. So I actually committed to dancing at the top of my lung or top of singing at the top of my lungs and dancing hard every morning. I've been doing that for my nervous system. So that is really fun. I do think I try to balance fun and work as much as I can, but also we both were mamas, right? We have little
Mm.
kids, and I think that they show us what fun is. They are beautiful examples of fun. So that slowing down, I think for the season of life it's really important, or else it goes by so fast.
Yeah, yeah. And my kids were asking me this morning to take them paddleboarding and kayaking. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. You mentioned earlier, like, your body is saying, like, nah, can't do all that you used to be able to handle and do. You gotta restore, gotta take care. When you are feeling, a bit tired or like you need a little bit more rest, how do you navigate these seasons? Like, how do you still bring in enough to thrive? And then also, we were drawn to this type of work to serve. So, like, feed that kind of service part of ourselves. But what do you do to take care of yourself spiritually and physically?
Well, I can't stop. I'm much like you in the way that working lights me up. Working is part of my joy. Working is part of my spirit. Being here and being alive, like it's so important. So every time somebody says you have to rest more, I think, how does that look to me? Because I think maybe for some people it means stopping everything, which as entrepreneurs we can't always do because we need to pay the bills. So I really have thought about that. What is the work that really feels so important to me? And to me, it's right now I'm writing a new book. So I have to focus on investing like all of my spirit and soul into that versus Instagram or versus social media. So taking care of myself is boundaries. Taking care of myself is going to bed early. Taking care of myself right now, I'm in a season where I'm really struggling in my physical body. So I need to go to many people to help and ask for a ton of help.
Mhm.
But that feeds me enough so that the things I say yes to, I'm all in. And now, in the past, I think I was probably diluted a little bit because I was everywhere and there was little bits of me everywhere. And now when I'm somewhere, I'm all there because that yes meant that I'm going to build my capacity to be there in my fullest expression. And anything I said no to, it simply means like I would have diluted my medicine anywhere else if I would have said yes to that. So I say boundaries is how I take care of myself and everything we've talked about this to this point to just really center how I'm going to be fed as well. Because when I'm speaking on a stage or I'm holding a retreat or a workshop, I'm so fed.
Yeah. And I don't know if you experience this too when you're in the work, because I'm a medium, but like you're definitely a channeler. Like what you do, I would call inspirational mediumship, like having ancestors speak through you and inspire others. Because mediumship isn't just about evidence, it's also about inspiration as well, right? Like advancing humanity and like healing our collective humanity as well. And I do believe that you do that. And in so many different ways, you're absolutely a medium. But what can happen for me is when I'm in my channel, I actually lose a lot of sense of my body. There's almost like an ignoring of the body that can happen for me because when I'm in my state, I transcend my physical discomfort, And then when I come kind of back down, it's like very dense and I'm like, "Oh, there's the IBS, right? Like there's the knee pain or the weightlifting kind of like injury. There you go. I don't know if you experience that. Do you experience that when you transcend?"
Well, the one beautiful thing, because I've been experiencing something in my physical body that hasn't shifted, I've lived with lupus since I was 17. There's always been flare ups, but then I get better.
Yeah.
This has been something that's been constant for 2 years. But what I've noticed when I'm in that state, and I love that you've presenced that because I do feel like ancestors are constantly just speaking through me. It's not like I don't feel my physical body, but I don't feel the pain. And that
Mm.
is so miraculous to me that when I'm standing there, I don't feel the pain. And that is like, and it's not like I can be there all the time
Yeah.
because I know I have to experience this physical realm. I want to be here. I want to be here for that elder self. I want to live for a long time. So it's a balance between those two states. But I'm always so blown away by when I'm on a stage. It's in my feet. The issues are in my feet. Why are my feet okay when I'm speaking and when I'm in that moment? So yeah, sometimes I think we shame ourselves for maybe being out of our bodies, but in reality, there's medicine everywhere. It's medicine for us to be in that state. That's a beautiful state to be so connected to divine source that we don't feel
Mhm.
pain. That's beautiful. So I'm reflecting on how to bring that into my everyday existence if I can, but I think that it's a beautiful way to experience healing.
Yeah, I imagine you can get into that state with your dance party. I could see you doing your dance party, and even though you're working your feet, I could feel your spirit like rising with that. So I imagine that's something that would really help. And I got covered in shivers as you speak about that and reflect that back to me because when we talk about what we're going to be doing in fall together, like that's what I hope to bring into the workshop is to how to teach people how to connect in with the divine, with the most divine aspects of themselves, with the most divine power, because we all have equal access to that, right? But I think you might agree to this. For me, it was like, how do I become a clear channel? How do I become clear enough that I can immerse myself in that energy. And that's the personal development path, right? So it's like healing that shit. It's like healing the parts of ourselves that keep ourselves like blocked and full, too full for spirit to come through. And I've seen what the world needs now more than ever is this intimate connection with the divine, with their own divinity and their own connection to the spirit world. And so, like, I'd like to be able to bring in different processes and experiences and also provide readings because that is my medicine of the season right now. It's like I've never done more readings and I've never seen them make as big of an impact as they have, even in the past 12 years of doing them, because I think the world needs it,
Yeah,
right? So, being able to do readings and provide channeling for people as well.
I love that. Well, I think that the weekend together that we're co-creating is going to be filled with that. It's going to be filled with coming back to that divine, but an embodied feeling, right? It's not just a theory. It's not going to just be like steps. It's going to be like you are going to experience what it feels to be filled with your divine self and come back to your creation story, come back to your original instructions, remember who you truly are. That's what I want to, I always say like being with me is very experiential because
Mhm.
I want you to be moved. I want you to be changed. It's not going to be a lot of mental exercises necessarily because I believe that we can only heal through our bodies and our minds aren't going to really change much. We just hammer the affirmations. They're great, but it's not changing anything. So I want you to be changed being in our weekend. And I think also it's just going to be so surrounded with so much magic and medicine. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we'll have, the weather will be great because it's the tail end of summer. But where Spirit School is situated is on the water. It's flanked by mountains. It's right by the forest. Squamish means mother winds. We have all four elements right there under our feet. And I know that's going to be powerful. And with all the channeling I have planned for the weekend, I know people will be able to experience that state just by being in the energy of it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I mean, we have similar, we just, since I met you, I can say we have similar threads of our story, our reconnection, our reclamation journeys. So that's why I said yes to this
Yeah.
collaboration because I believe that we can weave together something really special. And if you feel moved by anything that either of us have shared, I think that is a really good point that it's our presence, it's the medicine we carry. I say that about everybody. Like your presence is more than enough, right? You will receive something, but we can't always know what that's going to be. The great mystery is going to take up a ton of space over the weekend. Plus, we're surrounded by this beautiful land. Like, how can you not be moved and changed by the land that the earth is calling you? So, if you feel called, I would love to have you.
Yeah, definitely. We are doing a weekend workshop at Spirit School. It's called the Enchanted Equinox Weekend. And we're going to have a long table traditional dinner on the Friday night with a local knowledge keeper, Lydia Williams, who's been on the podcast before. She comes to all my retreats, does all our sacred teachings and learnings as a local Indigenous woman. So her and her husband will be catering a beautiful long table dinner for us with traditional food and song and dance. And then we'll be going into 2 days of teachings with me and Asha. Asha will take a morning, I'll take an afternoon. And then the next day I'll take the morning, Asha will take the afternoon. And these experiences, as far as my intention, is to remind people of their inner spirit, learn how to connect with that with greater ease, and how to lead with that in the world once you leave the workshop. And I believe that no matter what the collective world keeps throwing at us, we'll have tools and resources to stay grounded and stay reminded of the light of it all.
Yeah, I really feel that. And we're doing it on the equinox. So there's that turn of the medicine wheel. And the fall direction is the direction where if we can empty out and purify ourselves of what we no longer need, we get to welcome in what Creator wants for us. So it's a weekend of abundance and welcoming in your greatest power and dreams. Like we are going to hold space for building your capacity for calling those things in. And then as we work on our divine selves, you'll be this amazing magnet by the end of the weekend for calling all of that in for you.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, All the links are in the show notes. If you need to see how beautiful Squamish is, just go to my website, squamishmedium.com or daniellesarank.com, because it is a one in a lifetime place. It's like a paradise for nature lovers. So hopefully you'll be able to come out and see us. And thank you, Asha, for coming to speak to the Spirit Schoolers. If you have any final words of wisdom for people to carry in their heart as they enjoy the rest of their summer, I'll let you end our episode with that.
Oh goodness, I would love for you to have a dance party at least once before the end of the summer. Please have a dance party on my behalf, and please sing as loud as you want in the car. Just have one of those where like somebody looks over and smiles at you because you're singing so loud.
I love that. And I will absolutely take you up on that. And I'm calling that instructions now. So I will absolutely do that. And I will see you in September, Asha.
We can't wait. Bye for now.
Bye for now. If you feel called to join me and Asha, we have a special offering for listeners of this podcast. If you want to save $150 for this incredible intimate weekend, and we're only taking 20 people, you can save $150 by using coupon code SPIRIT150. SPIRIT 150, Spirit 150, all lowercase. Can't wait to see you there. Me and Asha are looking forward to welcoming you in.